Good day. How's it going? I have to do this on my phone because I lost my webcam somehow and I have no idea how to retrieve it. So how are you guys doing? I hope you had a good week last week. Um, I think I went 7-5. Didn't do too bad, I think. I guess if you, um, I guess if you bet the 7 and the 5, I mean, you would have come out on top, right? So, um, yeah, the only push I had was the Wyoming Tulsa game. And what else we got there? Okay, so we got this week's. I'm gonna try to do this a little bit quicker, just because I don't know how much time it'll take me for a transfer from my phone. Okay, so Thursday night, I'm not gonna go to a lot of the big games, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The So Thursday night we got Navy and Memphis. The Memphis is at home, and they're a 10.5 point favorite. Navy is like I would say they were like Army and the Air Force, where they have that triple threat and that really stingy kind of defense. Um, so I would expect this game to be kind of low scoring, and for Navy to be slowing the game down. Um, a 10.5 seems like kind of big for a game that's going to be slowed down. What I think is going to be slowed down anyway. Um, I think it's going to be similar to the first game of the season for Memphis. It's going to be like a 15-10 type of game. So I'm going to take Navy on this one, and that's the Thursday night game, and yep. And then Friday we have I have Duke at Virginia Tech. I haven't really seen much from Virginia Tech, except for the ass kicking they got from Boston College. Uh, With Duke, though, it looks like they seem like they've turned around on after that Middle Tennessee game. I think they've kind of opened up enough where I think that they'll be able to take out Virginia Tech at home. So I'm taking Duke with the 2.5 at Virginia Tech, and the other Friday night game is Penn State Maryland. A lot of people are thinking that Maryland is trying to kind of reestablish themselves. I'm not buying it. I think Penn State is for real. I think that they will hammer Maryland pretty big. Uh, and then, yeah, Maryland is just basically window dressing. Those two games that they won, it's just window dressing. You just saw that when they saw somebody that was even close to formidable was Temple, and they lost, right? So. And Penn State, I think, is hands above Temple. I have to stay hydrated, or my mouth just starts to dry out and babble. Um, but then again, there's also my theory that there's always an upset on Thursday, Friday night games. There always seems to be an upset. If you look back, I guarantee you will find an upset every week, even last year. Um, so I'm taking Penn State for just because the stats tell me to. Even though I don't go much off of stats. The only other games that you have that you can find the long shot to come in is the Arizona State, California. I got the San Jose at Air Force, and that's it. But I do a long shot and money line video that I'll decide which one to put in there. Okay, guys, Saturday. There are no early games due to stupid point spreads. Everything's over 20, so I've decided I'm not going to decide to do those things because it's ridiculous, Like I said, like I said, the perfect example of how I try to explain it is Clemson, where Lawrence played one quarter, scores 3 touchdowns, 97 yards, 94 yards, but then they sit him. All right, so you're making your bet based on the fact that he's playing the whole game. And that's why it's pointless to bet these, because you never know which way they're going to go anymore. Alrighty, we have USC at Washington. Washington is a -10. I think Matt Fink is a bit of an anomaly, but I think because now that he's out there and they have a tape on him, I think they'll be able to figure him out. And I think Washington will be able to cover that 10. I don't. Like I said, I don't. I think this is just USC was bound to hit a wall sooner or later with the quarterbacks falling off one by one, and I think Washington is that wall. So I'm taking Washington in the 10, -10. Next game I got is Wake Forest at Boston College. Wake Forest, they're They're a real grinding team. I've bet against them, I think, the first couple of weeks. But yeah, they're a real grinding team. They really know how to eke out wins here. Boston College, I think, there's something about them. They're just really not as good as I thought they were going to be. I think when they did take out Virginia Tech, I said, okay, so maybe they've got something. But that was basically their only quality win. And even now, we don't even know if it's a quality win. We don't know how good Virginia Tech is. All right, next one I got, to take Wake Forest with the -7. The next game is SMU at South Florida. SMU is a -7.5. SMU, what did I say? I mean, they're either on the cuff of making it this year, they're going to establish a footprint this year, or they're going to do it next year. I said that they were ready to do it. They took out TCU. I like TCU. TCU is one of my favorite teams. I got stuff coming from TCU, like a hat and a shirt coming from TCU now. It's on its way now. But the South Florida, yeah, well, I put my faith in South Florida the first week, and they've basically shit the bed since. It's 7.5. I say catch it while it's at 7.5. But keep an eye on that. I think it moved down to 7. So maybe if you can get it under a touchdown for SMU, I think that'll be a gift for sure. Cincinnati at Marshall. This was a tough one. Cincinnati was looking pretty primed to challenge. I think it's ACC for. And Marshall, they gave Boise State quite a good run too. So this one's really tough. We got Cincinnati at -3. It's in Marshall. I don't know how Cincinnati is going to play against that. This one's really tough to decide. Like I said, Marshall is pretty tough. But so is Cincinnati. And Ritter, I think, is playing now. So I'm going to give the edge to Cincinnati at -3. I wish I had a little bit less. If I had less than a field goal, I think I definitely would have taken Cincinnati with a little bit more confidence. But this was a shaky -3, and I'm still taking Cincinnati. Okay, next one is Mississippi State at Auburn, -11. Oh, man. A lot of people are thinking Mississippi State will stay inside of 10 points with Auburn. I have no faith in Mississippi State at all. I think Auburn has demonstrated how good they are, how good their defense is. Bo Nix, he's finally starting to settle in. And what do you call it? Sorry about that. Bo Nix is, like I said, he's settling in. And Mississippi State hasn't really demonstrated anything to me. Who did they lose to last week? I picked them to lose last week, too. Sorry, I got it right here. It was... Oh, no, sorry, they won last week. They beat Kentucky. No. Still, well, they're walking into Auburn, and they're still going to lose. So, but I think Auburn will cover that 11 points. I don't even know if Mississippi State's really going to get anything in there. If they get a touchdown, they'll be lucky. Auburn's defense is really that good. So I'm going to take Auburn -11 at home. What do we got next? This one's going to be a good game. This is Kansas State against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a -4. Um, I've got Kansas State to win outright. And the reason why is because Oklahoma State's defense is so vulnerable. It's not even funny. They can't even stop a cold. It's like, yeah, they're just really their offense. When they get into a battle of attrition, it depends on the other team, the defense basically. Like when they went up against Oregon State, it was back and forth the touchdowns, and OK State was basically stopping Oregon State about one out of every three times, and that's what changes the score. That's what changed the score. But that's not going to happen when you're coming into these better teams, right? And I think Kansas State has demonstrated that they're definitely one of those better teams. Um, but a really good matchup. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. I hope I can get this one on TV. But I'm taking Kansas State and the plus and the 4 points. So that's my choice. Next game is UAB at Western Kentucky. A lot of people think that UAB is kind of a fake team, I guess is what I hear. I think they're a lot better than Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky won last week, and that's why everybody's thinking, oh my God, no, Western Kentucky actually is good. No, I think Western Kentucky is still shit. So I think UAB is much better than they are. They are a -3. I think UAB will win by at least a touchdown, and that's the way I'm calling it. Ohio State at Nebraska. They're 17.5. I'm taking Ohio State. Nebraska is shit. Nebraska is what I've been saying for the last 4 weeks. Nebraska is a shitty team. Overhyped, overvalued, over everything. And they're at home. I don't give a shit. Ohio State, they have shut down teams like Cincinnati. They're going to shut down Nebraska. I know if Cincinnati walked into Nebraska, they'd kick the shit out of them. So Ohio State will cover 17.5 points. If you can get less, that's awesome. And last game I got, oh no, I got 2 games, sorry. This was a little off my usual. I got New Mexico at Liberty. I like Liberty. I think they've been playing some really tough teams, for an FCS team. New Mexico is garbage. I think they had that last week basketball game with New Mexico State. I think score wasn't as high as the Washington State game, but I think it was like a 45-42 game with New Mexico. They can't stop. It was just back and forth touchdown. So it's just depending on how long they had the ball, right? Liberty is a lot better, and they faced some really tough teams, and they've given them a good run too. I think Liberty will cover that 7.5 at home, because like I said, New Mexico is just pure shit. Yeah, I mean, like I said. Anyways, that's basically what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Okay, my mouth is starting to stiffen up. Last game I got is Hawaii at Nevada. Another tough game. I really want to take Nevada at home, but Hawaii. Well, no, I'm sorry. I really want to take Hawaii because of that Cole McDonald. But the guy's susceptible to throwing interceptions. Nevada's good enough to. Nevada's good enough to defense to. What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I kind of lose what I'm trying to come up with here. Anyways, I think Nevada's a little bit better defense than some of the teams that Hawaii has faced. Nevada did beat Purdue in that first week. The only team they've lost to is Oregon, and that's, sadly it was 77-6, but it's Oregon, and Oregon is one of those teams that once they start running numbers up on you, they're just going to keep going. They have nobody has Kuth in this league for some reason. And Hawaii has also, let me give you that rundown though. Hawaii has beaten Arizona. They've beaten Oregon, but at home. Okay, so and I'm even in their basketball teams, they're not very good at on the road. So I'm going to take Nevada at home. I'm changing that to Nevada minus 2.5, and I think Nevada will hold them enough. Because remember, Hawaii has zero defense. And Nevada is actually a lot better team than a lot of people give them credit for. I said that at the first week when they went up against Purdue. Damn it. Um, so yeah, they're just really out in the boonies. They don't really have a way to demonstrate their, how good they are because nobody covers them, right? So basically, I'm taking Nevada and the 2.5 and the minus 2.5, and that is basically my games for the week. Now I gotta go before I choke to death. And good luck, guys. I've got the NFL games coming out tomorrow. Let's say Tuesday. I might be actually doing them today. I'm gonna have to kind of do everything today. Got my long shots. Keep an eye out for that today too. Long shots and underdog money line picks, and that should be it. So I will see you guys in the winning circle. I hope it's better than 7-5 like last week. All right, take care, and we will see you soon.